Hey guys, how's it going? It's Etanyos here. Welcome to my NHL 22 roster updating episode. Today we're going to do about an hour-long video on me just going through the rosters, doing my take on it, and editing any players that I think don't currently match their status in the NHL. But before we actually hop into this, I do want to just, plug my brand a little bit quickly. Hopefully you guys actually go and check this out. But today we're looking at Yard Sale Hockey, as you can see right here. This is my hockey apparel brand. If you guys have not gone and checked it out yet, I recommend you do. We got the yellow, I don't know if you can really see that. We got the yellow heartbeat hoodie here. So yeah. Yard Sale Hockey, there you can see it, and of course the design is right there for you guys to see. You're going to be seeing it all video, and of course if you are also interested in picking up some other merch like such, maybe an Eat Sleep Hockey Repeat t-shirt or something along those lines, go over to the link in the description, Yard Sale Hockey there, and make sure you use Etanyos at checkout for the code to save 15% on anything you purchase from the store. And of course, anything that you do purchase directly supports me and this channel, and I really appreciate all the support that you guys give me currently, and let's keep growing it. But anyways, let's get into this roster editing video. Alright guys, so here we are in NHL in rosters, currently in edit players. I'm not really going to be touching the lines too much, I think. I think we can save that for franchise mode and things like such. But today we're going to go check out all these rosters and, see what's new, how players are shaping up, and how teams are shaping up. So, first off, I totally agree with Trevor Zegras being about an 82 overall. I think he is one of the front runners for Rookie of the Year for this upcoming season. I think it's going to be a great Calder race this year. But overall, with the Anaheim Ducks, I'm not seeing anything that too much disappoints me for, what I'm seeing here statistics-wise. Obviously, Sonny Milano didn't really have a great season last year, which is unfortunate because he is 25 now. But, overall for Anaheim, I don't see too much I want to edit. I do think Gibson probably could be a little bit lower, but, we'll leave that as is. And of course, I'm not going to be touching abilities or anything else at the current moment, but let's keep getting through this. So, I think right away after this, I don't know about a low elite for Clayton Keller. I know he's been, a little shaky in Arizona so far, but he got started off hot and has kind of just been going along with how bad Arizona's been. I think, honestly, he is probably a medium elite, and I would say the same for Jakob Chychrun, but at the same time, I think Chychrun actually deserves the attribute boost because he is better than an 85 overall. I think he's quite a bit faster, too, than this. I think 87 overall is probably about accurate for what we're going to be rating him at. Sorry if I'm absolutely deafening you right now with the with my cursor moving around on screen. That is my bad. I've got the sound a little imbalanced, but of course I think Chychrun should probably be at about an 87 overall. I would say that's probably accurate. That's 88. Okay, let's go like that. Sure, that looks good. Okay, so that's what we're going to leave Jakob Chychrun rated at. Of course, I'm not going to touch any of this other stuff. I will trust EA on that for now. Of course, roster editing is going to be coming out here, or roster sharing is going to be coming out fairly soon. I think if anybody's a low elite, it's probably Shane Gostisbehere, as he, just hasn't really proven himself overall as a player, versus Clayton Keller's got a lot of time still, so I think a medium elite overall is probably, or potential is still accurate for him, as he's a great 7th overall pick in that 2016 draft, I believe. All right, after that, of course, Shane Gostisbehere. I'm just going to touch the potential again on him. Obviously, he got traded for quite literally nothing. Future considerations, to be exact, to Arizona. So who knows how he's going to do, but I don't think he's really a medium elite defenseman anymore. Okay, Dvorak I'd say maybe is like an 81 overall. I kind of bumped him up a little bit too much here, but I'd also argue that he is a medium top 6 forward, but that's about it for Dvorak. Or Fisher, sorry, I just said Dvorak, I meant Fisher. Alright, apart from that, I'm not seeing too much else that I really think needs to be edited here on Arizona. I think that all looks pretty good to me. So yeah, we're going to leave the Coyotes as is for now. Obviously, we will make that Christian Fisher move in a second here. All right, for Boston, looks like they got 3 players with superstar X factors by the looks of it. I'd say they've got a pretty accurate looking roster too, because Charlie McAvoy, yes, I think he is definitely their best defenseman. Apart from that, Matt Grzelcyk's up to an 82. Okay, yeah, I'd say that's accurate as well. I think he was fantastic, but I don't know if he goes up to a medium top 4 or not. Apart from that, Zaboral, for where he was taken, wasn't worth it, but okay. After that, what about their goalies? Swayman, I don't know if I'm going to bump him up. I think he's pretty accurate on where he's at. Obviously, Linus Ullmark's going to be getting a lot of playtime in Boston too this year, but Swayman's going to be good, I think, for Boston as well. I'm kind of envious because they've got such a good young goalie there. So yeah, I'm not really going to touch the Bruins. I'm pretty concise, pretty happy with how they're looking. Apart from this now, let's see. Jack Eichel. Okay, Buffalo could be a work in progress here, honestly. But, actually, most of these guys are fairly accurately rated. The only one, obviously, is Jack Eichel being injured. He's out for now. At 24 years old, but I just wonder where he's going to end up more than anything else. How's their goaltending looking? Anderson and Dell, okay. All right, I think that looks okay, but of course Aaron Dell's number 30 as well. Oh, that was just a messy situation, but Buffalo's still got potential, but are probably going to be one of the worst teams in the league. I'm not going to touch them either. I'm pretty happy with how they're looking. Let's see. Honestly, I would argue that Mangiapane is probably better than... well, he's right up there with Monahan, I would say. He's better than most of these other forwards. The only other guy I might bump up would be Dylan Dubé. He could be like an 82, 83. I think, and this is from watching countless battles of Alberta. How is he a low starter but 88 rated? Like what? Okay, so anyways, let's go. Yeah, let's bump Mangiapane up to like an 85. I think he's a fantastic forward. He proved that playing for Canada this year in the summer in the IIHF there. So yeah, let's bump him up a little bit more. I think he's quite fast. Let's see, puck control definitely up. Same with passing. He's just a really, really good player. Agility's definitely up there too. Let's see what else. Deking definitely. Yeah, he's a very, very high skilled player is how I would describe Andrew Mangiapane. So yeah. Let's give him that. 85 overall. I would say that's accurate. And that's a Mangiapane edit. Okay. Moving on now to... Who else did I say? Dylan Dubé. Yeah. He only had 22 points. But honestly, he makes such an impact out there with his pressure and his forechecking and everything he does for Calgary that I would argue he's probably about an 83 overall. So let's bump him up by 2 ratings again. I know everybody, when they're doing ratings anyways, when everybody's doing ratings in NHL, all the other YouTubers, they always base it on, okay, how did he do last season compared to how he's going to do this season? Like I'm basing it more on how good a player I actually think they are and how good they can be. But at the same time, I don't want to go too overboard with boosting guys' abilities and things like such. That's why we're just kind of sticking to this as it is. But I also watched Dylan Dubé play as a Kelowna Rocket a couple times. I'm from Kelowna, for those of you who don't know. So yeah, watching Dubé play and then watch him making the jump to the NHL, he's done absolutely fantastic, and I think he deserves the 82 overall at least. I was going to bump up to 83. He's really close there anyways, but I'm pretty happy with those ratings. All right. Goaltending's good on Calgary, so let's move on to Carolina now. Okay. Aho, I would very much argue is a playmaker. There's no way he's a two-way forward in comparison to a playmaker. because he plays much more of a skill game rather than a two-way game. So that's the only thing I'm going to touch on Sebastian Aho. Anyways, I'm not really going to edit him. I think he is about an 89 overall, considering he got picked 35th in 20. Was it 2015? It was 2015. Yeah, 2015 was just stacked. It's insane how good it was. But besides that, I'm going to argue that Jakub Slavin is an elite defenseman. You could say, yeah, he's just medium top 4. But the way he's played for Carolina, man, he's definitely a medium elite, in my opinion. For potential, I think 86 is about right, but I also think Slavin is ridiculously fast. That's something that a lot of people don't really recognize him for, and yeah, he can skate like the wind, so I'm going to give him 90 speed and acceleration. Okay. Moving on to who else needs editing on this team. Jesperi Kotkaniemi, 28 points in 75 games. Nothing special, but yeah, I think those are all looking pretty accurate. Tony DeAngelo has been an absolute dumpster fire of a career so far in the NHL, although he had such high potential. Goaltending looks good in my opinion. All right, on to the Chicago Blackhawks, and DeBrincat's going to be insane. We all know that. Tyler Johnson's in there. Dylan Strome. See, that's the thing, is I'm not seeing too many guys where I look at them and go, yes, that is terrible. I need to change that. A lot of these ratings look pretty accurate, in my opinion. Maybe Kurashev could go up more, but I'm not certain on that either. Yikes, Alex Nylander has not been very good. Andrew Shaw getting the retirement treatment as well. Fortunately, you can't remove players. Fleury's a 90. I mean, yeah, I guess so. He won the Vezina. I don't actually disagree with that. So, yeah, okay, that's accurate. And Lincoln, okay, he was in the conversation for winning the Calder this year. He obviously didn't, but he was pretty darn good for the Blackhawks, and I think he'll be a great backup goalie as well. Who are their rookies? They don't have any rookies. Okay, on to Colorado Avalanche, and let me see. The only player that I might consider bumping up here a little bit might be Cale Makar. Apart from that, wow, Alex Newhook's in the game. That's the thing. Newhook's a medium elite. Don't know if I entirely agree with that, but I'm probably going to leave it for now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, obviously. I want to hear your opinions. You guys are going to absolutely destroy me. You're going to absolutely rip me apart for some of my ratings and potentials and things like such, but I'm open for it. I'm ready for it, I think. Samuel Girard's lower rated than Devin Taves, really? Agree to disagree. 37 points. 37 points. I think we make Devin Taves about an 86. That would be my argument. I think he's better. So let's bump him up a little bit. I think Cale Makar should be fine at like a 90. I'm not going to bump him up too much, but Devin Taves really also helped improve Cale Makar's game this year, which I don't think can be understated enough. I think Taves is actually a really, really good defenseman overall, and I think about an 86 is accurate for where he is at and how he plays and how he really influenced Colorado this year. And yeah, apart from that, you could argue Girard's only like an 83, 84 still, but I'm going to leave that for now. I honestly don't think Newhook's a medium elite, but again, I'm going to leave it. They got some really good picks there in, 2019? Yeah, 2019. 2019 was a stacked draft. I don't care who disagrees with that. Cole Caulfield, Trevor Zegras, Jack Hughes, Capo Caco, Bowen Byram, Alex Newhook. It just goes on and on and on. There's so many good players in that draft. Moritz Seider was in 2019 as well. It blows me away how stacked that draft class is, and as we get further and further on with the NHL and how players progress and how draft classes go, moving into the future, I think 2019 is going to be right up there with a couple other ones for one of the best draft classes ever, maybe. besides that, they lost. What on earth is that? Pavel Francouz, did he really win that many games? Dang. Francouz was really sick. I'm actually quite surprised at how good he was. He's 31 years old now too, but dang, Francouz, I didn't realize how many wins he had. Like, he literally had more wins than Darcy Kemper, and they're like, let's start Kemper. Francouz kind of held his own when Grubauer was out, so I mean, say what you will there, but yeah, Laine only an 85. I mean, yes, he had a down year. Don't get me wrong. Patrick Laine definitely had a down year, but I think he'll bounce right back, honestly. I think that's a little low. On the other hand, Jack Roslovic had an absolutely monster season, even though Columbus was not very good. So I am going to give him elite potential. I think that is accurate at the very least, and I think he's probably about an 84, 85 rated instead as well. I think he's just one of those criminally underrated players. He's ridiculously agile. That's what I've noticed when he plays, but he's also quite fast too. Let's just keep bumping him up a little bit here and there. Okay, that looks good to me. Is he a playmaker? Is he a sniper? What is he listed as? See, he's listed as a 2A. I disagree. I would very much argue him a playmaker instead. So, there's some Jack Roslovic edits for you guys. Let me know what you think again. I think Roslovic, again, like I just said, criminally underrated. Should be better than he is. But, why the hell am I getting phone calls from the most random numbers ever? Anyways. Alright, apart from that, not seeing anything else I really agree or disagree with there. Merzlik and Korpisalo looks good to me. Korpisalo had a bit of a rough year this year, not gonna lie. And alright, that is it for Columbus. Moving on to Dallas now. And the Dallas Stars kind of had a bad year last year, not going to lie. I don't think a lot of these guys actually deserve ratings where they're at. I think one of the few guys who does is Roope Hintz, obviously. 43 points in just 41 games played. He was absolutely fantastic. And honestly, I think he's an elite player. I think he's just as good as a couple of Dallas's other centers. And, once he actually gets back on the ice and gets going, I think everybody's going to start to realize, oh, crap, right, Hintz is really, really good. So I would give him about an 86 overall. I think he, again, is just faster, more agile than the game really gives him credit for. So we'll bump those up a little bit, and he's already up to an 86. So, yeah, Roope Hintz, again, one of those just underrated players. So somehow they give Guryanov a medium elite status as well. Don't know if I entirely agree with that one, but, Hintz was second rounder. Again, 2015. Why is that draft class so stacked? I don't know, but it is. Jeez. Really? Medium elite, hey? Medium elite for Jason Robertson. I would say medium top 6, maybe high top 6, but I want to hear what you guys think. I want to hear that in the comments below. What you think certain players' ratings are. They've got some really good wingers here in Dallas, which is, I don't find too crazy. I believe that, but why do they have 3 goalies as well? That's the thing that just does not quite add up to me. They went out and signed Braden Holtby. Don't know if I entirely agree with that signing. I don't know who their best goalie is going to be, honestly. I think Bishop would be if he was healthy, but I don't think he's going to be returning for a while. So yeah, I think that's all I'm going to touch on Dallas. Just one player again. I guess I just did one player, yeah, but I'm thinking about a couple. Anyways, moving on to the Detroit Red Wings now, and I wonder, is Moritz Seider on this team? Because he would be one of those guys that I would just immediately bump up to like an 82 overall. If not higher. Zadina is a good player. I don't know if he's a sniper, though. I don't know. Detroit fans, let me know. Do you think Zadina's a sniper or what? Because I think I'm going to be adjusting that. Verana is out indefinitely at this point as well. Pius Sutter is actually a surprisingly good player. A lot of people didn't actually realize how good he is until he really started going off for, I want to say, it wasn't Detroit, it was someone else. But apart from that, Jelkovic, 84, I'd say that's accurate. And they don't really have too many rookie skaters, so we're going to have to go find Moritz Seider, of course. Now on to the Oilers. I don't think too many of these get changed. I mean, what is that? Duncan Keith is at most an 80 rated defenseman right now. I don't know where the 84 is coming from, because he just had an absolutely atrocious season too. Don't get me wrong, he can skate. I agree with that, but I think his passing and puck control and everything else needs to go down pretty significantly, to be honest. I don't think he's really even close to an 84. I'd say maybe 80, but again, that's a bit of a stretch considering his age and everything. I just think he needs to be decreased there significantly. Yeah, holy, they had his offensive and defensive awareness way too high. So anyways, let's adjust that, and that's coming from an Oilers fan. I am an Oilers fan. I don't think Duncan Keith's an 84 overall. So, Keith down to there is probably accurate. Let's see, Yamamoto, yeah, looks good. I don't know if Klefbom's even playing this year. I would argue Hyman, even though he is 29 years old now, I would argue he's still a top 6 forward, not a top 9. And I do kind of think that's just some Toronto media playing into the fact that, oh, he left Toronto, he's worse than he is. I don't know. I think Hyman's a pretty darn good top 6 winger in any team on the league. So, apart from that, CC's accurate, Cassian, yep. The guy who actually surprised me big time this preseason, though, is Brendan Perlini. Keep an eye on him. I could see myself bumping him up to as high as an 82 if things keep going the way they've gone for him. And Ryan McLeod, I believe, is slated to make the Oilers team as well this year, so I think I'm going to bump him up to about a 78 or 79 because I think that's actually more accurate to where he sits based on his growth and development, and I think he's going to be a medium top 6 forward more than anything else. But he also flies. I don't know if you guys have actually watched him. He has got wheels for days. I would say 92 speed and acceleration, as well as some pretty good agility. That's where the majority of his stats really lie. But apart from that, he's just an all-around, can skate like the wind kind of player. He's not terrible at deking. Well, that would be where the rating is declined a little bit. Let's say, yeah, I'd say a 79 rated medium top 6 for Ryan McLeod is about accurate. Okay, apart from that, goaltending. Mike Smith, yeah, I'd say maybe 84. He was one of the best goalies in the league this last year. No question. Koskinen, on the other hand, I'd say maybe a 79, honestly. He's kind of been atrocious for the Oilers over the last 2 years, and I think we just start decreasing absolutely everything. Okay, that looks a little more accurate. So yeah, Koskinen was just garbage, honestly. So hopefully he improves this season for the Oilers and actually proves like an 80 rating. But like Alex Stalock is very much in contention for making the Oilers team as a backup goalie as well. So now on to the Florida Panthers, and honestly, I don't see anything wrong here off the start. Things look pretty accurate in Florida. They actually did a pretty good job here, I would say. Not seeing anything I really disagree with. It sucks that Aaron Ekblad got injured, because I think he would be right up there at that 90 overall with Huberdeau and Barkov if he was if he was healthy for the whole season. But Mackenzie Weegar got the chance to step into and really made an impact for the Panthers this last year. Apart from that, their goaltending is accurate, but inaccurate, if that makes sense as well. Like Bobrovsky, did he really win 20 games? I guess he did, but Spencer Knight as well. Again, in that 2019 draft class, going to be a really, really, really good pick. So, all right, I'm not actually touching anything on Florida, which I can't say I'm surprised with. I think the Panthers are pretty accurately rated. But on to the LA Kings now, and don't know if I'm really seeing too much I disagree with here either. They actually look... That's actually pretty accurate, I'd say, for the Kings. They got Elias Anderson. I forgot about that. Yeah, LA is one of those teams that's probably going to be bad for a year or two. I don't know if I entirely agree with this one, but I'm going to leave it as a troll just because, Cal Peterson could turn out to be something fantastic, but he's also 26 now, so just keep an eye on him. I don't think he's really an 84 overall. I'd say maybe 82 is probably accurate there, but moving on to Minnesota. I'm trying to do this in a fairly timely fashion as well. Don't have a whole lot of time to record this, so let's see. The only other guy that I might argue is an elite player on Minnesota would probably be Kevin Fiala. But I'd say a medium top 6 is probably accurate. Maybe just more like an 86 rated would probably be good there. Apart from that, not really. Yeah, I think Fiala is going to be the only guy I actually touch. I'm pretty satisfied with how that team looks. I think that's about accurate for how Minnesota is. But they do need a couple drivers. Like, it can't just be Kaprizov as the only elite player who's really making a difference. I think Fiala was up there at multiple points in the season as well, where he was just absolutely fantastic. He'd score some great goals, have some really crazy plays and things like such. So I think we up him a little bit more. So he's at an 85 now. Let's get him up to an 86. He's a very high-skilled winger. That's how I would describe Kevin Fiala's game. So yeah, 86 looks good. Okay. I did think Nashville was wrong to let him go, and they made that. I don't know if it was a trade. I can't remember if it was a trade or free agent signing. But they let Fiala go, and everybody kind of knew right away. They were like, "Ooh, that was not a good one." So Matt Dumba doesn't have a superstar X factor. I find that interesting, to say the least. Okay. For their goaltending though in Minnesota, Cam Talbot and Capo Kakkonen. Yeah, I'd say they're going to split it 50-50 approximately. So that looks good. That looks accurate. Montreal now. All right, for the Montreal Canadiens, Caulfield is an 83. He's one of the few players that actually has a picture in the game. That's crazy. And again, 2019 draft, he was fantastic. 17 points, 30 games. Obviously, he only played 5 games. That's crazy. He had 12 points in 20 games, though, in the playoffs. So that's Cole Caulfield for you. You could argue he's better than that. I don't know if he really is. But I would also make the argument that Suzuki's better than that, and I think he genuinely is. He had a fantastic year this past season, and Montreal would be a real fun team to do franchise with, just based on how good some of these young guys are. Romanov being a medium top 4. I'm going to bump him to elite still. I still believe that he has the potential to be a number 1 defenseman on Montreal. So the only way I'm really going to touch that is just by changing the top 4 to an elite status and seeing if he grows or not in the first franchise mode I do, and then maybe I'll edit it from there. But yeah, let's change that. And not too much else. Carey Price, Jake Allen. That's a really highly rated goalie tandem that I don't know if I entirely agree with, but Price is a 90. I'd say Allen's maybe like an 82, 83, but Montreal fans will probably shred me for that. So we're going to leave that as is. Moving on now to the name, Nashville Predators. Sorry, I had a brain fart there for a second. Again, I'm not seeing a whole lot where I look at it and go, like, there's nothing that really jumps out at me like, wow, he's way overrated, or wow, he's way underrated kind of thing. Duchesne in the 83 is probably accurate. He was not very good over the last couple seasons. Yossi, yeah, Yossi's been fantastic. Forsberg too, yep. Yeah, that all looks good. Okay, for goaltenders in Nashville, Saros, I'm going to argue Saros is an elite goalie. He was pretty darn fantastic this past season, and yeah, let's give him, first off, medium elite status, and then let's bump him to an 86 as well. Okay, so just the first three there, that's all he needed to go up a bit more. Does he have abilities? That's the thing I wonder. That's it. See, I thought Saros was fantastic for Nashville over the past season, but yeah, I think that's about where he should stand for his potential and overall. Just a little bump because Saros was fantastic. Dougie Hamilton, on the other hand, though, for looking at the New Jersey Devils now, without a doubt in my mind, Dougie Hamilton is the best player on the New Jersey Devils, but I would also argue he is about a 90 overall instead of an 88. I think he really just struggled to actually stay healthy, and that's been his biggest issue more than anything else, is that he just cannot stay healthy to save his life. But other than that, he's a fantastic defenseman. I hear some people say, like, oh, Hamilton's overrated, on and on. It's like, how can you be overrated when you're that good at defenseman? Like, when you're putting up points like that, when you're doing things like Hamilton's doing. Like, yeah, sure, he probably had some locker room issues when he was younger, but he's 28 years old now. Yeah, like, he's going... One more thing, sorry. Dougie Hamilton is in no way a two-way defenseman. He is absolutely an offensive defenseman. There's no other way for me to put that. I don't know why he's listed as a two-way. It's probably just because of his size, but he is, no question, a offensive defenseman. Okay. So, Hamilton gets a good rating there. I think I agree on that. Apart from that, let's see. Graves, Sharon Govich. Yeah, okay. I'd say that's actually a pretty decent rating for him off the bat. We'll see if he gets better or not. Michael McLeod was 12th overall in 2016. Ouch. And Nolan Foote is on there too. First round pick. Never really turned out to be too good. And for goalie, do you guys think Mackenzie Blackwood is an 86 overall? I personally don't. Again, don't think I'm really going to edit that one, but question it at the very least. Okay, moving on now to the New York Islanders. I would say Matt Barzal, without a doubt, is an elite player. I would say Adam Pelech is without a doubt top 4 defenseman as well. There's no way he's top 6 rated at this point. Like, just no way. He could almost be elite. I would say Pelech is the top 4, and then I would say Pulock is the elite defenseman. That's what I would say. That's the only things I would really change in the top kind of players on the Islanders anyways. So let's just adjust that quickly. Because I would, like, the Islanders are built as a very deep team, and that always makes the conference finals, but at the same time, you still have to have a certain amount of just high-end players to make it that far as well. So, yeah, like, the ratings are just very solid throughout. Johnny Boychuk also getting the retirement treatment. Sorokin, I'd say, yeah, 83 is about right. Don't actually have to create him this year. I think I did him the last 3 years in a row for player creation, but all right, after that, obviously, Shesterkin just got paid. I personally think he's about an 85 overall, but a lot of people and statistics and things like such would state that he's probably closer to that 87. So Adam Fox with an 87, I mean, just won the the Norris. That takes some high skill to do. Mika Zibanejad, though, I would argue he's right up there with Panarin. I would say he is, without a doubt, an elite player, and I would say probably about an 87. So let's just kind of bump everything up by one here. So, because personally, I think he should be higher rated than he is. His face-offs are terrible, which is hilarious. Okay, so let's go like that for Zibanejad. I think he's about a 90. I think he was fantastic for the Rangers this past season, and I do think Panarin is just a little bit ahead of them still. So, apart from that, Lindgren, that's a pretty nice rating. But yeah, makes sense why him and what's his name? Why Fox and Lindgren worked so well together as well. Apart from that, I'd say that's pretty accurate for the Rangers, and that is New York. All right, on to the the Senators. And not going to lie, don't see too much here that I think I'd actually change. I think Josh Norris and Batherson have both been fantastic for them. Zub stepped up as well. I don't know if Brandstrom is still an medium elite player, but yeah, honestly, I think those are pretty accurate ratings for the Senators. Matt Murray had a bit of a rough go, honestly, which is too bad, but I think that's about where he stands. Ottawa, sorry, Ottawa fans who are watching this, we're waiting for your team. I'm not really going to change too much. On to the Philadelphia Flyers now, and Provorov, yeah, I think he's elite, but I would also argue that Konechny is probably elite as well. Like, there's just, oh god, there's so many good names on this team as well, that I don't think, they got Risto? I guess they did get Risto, yeah, I forgot about that trade. Farabee is a high top 6, yeah, that's accurate. Philly is like, I can't believe they didn't make the playoffs this year because they're such a strong team overall. Hart did have a pretty rough season, so I think that's the only thing that really made the difference for the Flyers, but I think Couturier is still an elite player, though. He was a 7th overall pick. He's like literally one of the best two-way forwards in the league. No question in my mind about that. He's constantly up for the Selke. So let's keep him at an elite. I'd say 89 is about accurate, and that's honestly the only thing I see fit to change here. But yeah, you know, Philly's still going to have a really strong team regardless. On to Pittsburgh now, and Pittsburgh is... I don't know why Brian Rust always gets a medium 9 rating. He's been playing in their top 6 for like 4 years now, and playing in Pittsburgh top 6 is not a small feat by any means. Sure, you're playing with Crosby or Malkin, but those guys have both struggled with injuries consistently, and guys like Rust have kind of helped carry the Penguins to at least making the playoffs still in most seasons. Apart from that, you know, not too many other players here who I'm like, oh, this guy needs to be on the team, this guy needs to be higher rated kind of thing. Like maybe, no, I'm just not seeing anything that I really feel the need to adjust here. What's Jari's rating? 83? Yeah, okay. If he was lower than an 83, I'd bump him up. But if he was higher than an 83, I think that's about accurate for where he is. All right, on to the San Jose Sharks. The fact that Erik Karlsson's the highest paid player in the league this year is absolutely hilarious, but I think most of these ratings are actually pretty good. I don't think Tomas Hertl is getting moved as much as he wants out. I don't see them really making any crazy deal for him or anything. I think Meyer's accurate. I think a lot of these guys are very accurate based on how well they're playing. Balcers could be good this year, But yeah, there's just that's the thing, is that San Jose had such a brutal year last year that I don't see a whole lot of that changing really. On to the Kraken now. And Seattle, well, Seattle, who knows, actually. I don't know how this team's going to do. I think they could be as far down as another lottery pick, but they could also potentially make the playoffs. That's kind of how I feel about this team. And they don't really have a whole lot of elite players or anything either, so... yeah, Hayden Fleury's an elite, but that's about it. Heberle and Giordano low elites. Okay, I'd say that's accurate. For whatever reason. Wow, controller lag. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Goalies. They got a lot of goalies, not gonna lie. I don't know if Chris Drieger is really, I don't know if he's actually a 27 overall kind of, or 27, 84 overall kind of goalie at 27 years old, but then again, Grubauer's 87, which is insane. So, yeah, okay, I guess those are accurate. I do find it kind of funny that Colorado let Grubauer go that easily, but Seattle, I don't see a whole lot to change there. Okay, moving on to the St. Louis Blues, and I'm a little confused as to where some of these ratings are coming from, honestly. St. Louis wasn't that good this year, or this past season. But, you know, overall, I think fairly, like, the majority of these ratings are pretty good. I'm a little confused where some of these ratings are coming from, but I don't see a need to change it too much either. I think Binnington definitely needs to go down. I think he's about an 83 right now. Yeah, that's the one thing that St. Louis just lacked, was Binnington's confidence. So I think that goes down this year a little bit. Okay, I'd say that's a little bit more accurate. I think Binnington's about an 83 right now, because he was just shaky last year, and that's one of the main reasons why St. Louis didn't do well, was because Binnington would get absolutely lit up, and St. Louis is standing there like, hey, we're playing a good game in front of you. How come it's 3-0 for the other team and they've had 6 shots? Like, that was kind of how Binnington's season went last year. So, moving on to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Obviously, in my opinion, the most stacked team in the league. I don't know why Chernak is that highly rated, though, but he is. Okay, interesting. I do find it funny that Corey Perry was just like, all right, screw it. I am done losing to Tampa Bay in back-to-back seasons. If you can't beat them, join them. That's literally what he did. Unfortunately for this team, though, I do think they are going to lose some players after this season. I don't think they're going to be able to maintain everybody. But aside from that, ratings are accurate. That's the only way I can describe Tampa. All right, moving on to the Toronto Maple Leafs. And the only edits I think I'm really going to touch here are probably going to be, I think Nylander's a little bit better than he gets credit for. And I think Kerfoot could be in that kind of role too. Obviously, 63 games is 29 points. Isn't too hot, but William Nylander was absolutely fantastic this past season for Toronto. I think he was, just understated of how good he really was by the shadows of Marner's and Matthews and players like such, and I think he should be sitting right at about an 87 overall. I think his shot is actually significantly better than people give him credit for, so I've got him at an 86 there now. He's still an 86. I think he should probably be about an 87, to be completely honest. And okay, let's start Nylander there. I think he is that good, and yeah. For Leafs goalies, we're looking at Mrazek, Campbell, and Hutchison. I think Mrazek's pretty good, but I don't know if he's an 84. We'll leave that as is. And onto the Vancouver Canucks. So, with the Canucks. We have a couple positional or stylistic edits here, more than ratings or anything like that. Without a doubt in my mind, Elias Pettersson is a playmaker. I don't know where they keep getting a two-way forward from, but he's not super heavy set. He doesn't really play a heavy-hitting physical defensive game. He's very much a playmaker in my mind, and I think in a lot of people's minds. Versus Bo Horvat, yes, Horvat's a two-way forward, no question. I mean, JT Miller, 218 pounds at 6'1", he's a pretty big boy too, don't get me wrong there, but I think JT is also a playmaker. He was just fantastic this past season for Vancouver. I think he led their team in points, if I'm not mistaken, and yeah, bit of a strange one to give up there. I believe he was traded from the Tampa Bay Lightning to Vancouver. Yep, he was, which was just a mistake. I don't know why they did that, but they did. All right, apart from that, Garland's going to be good. I don't see a whole lot of edits. That's the thing, was that Vancouver wasn't very good. There's another trade, though. Hugh Levy could get moved over to Florida in exchange for, I can't even remember what got sent back the other way, but we can do that one as well. Jack Rathbone, though. I'm gonna edit him up to about a 78, 79. I think he was better than Hugh Levy. And for a 5th-round pick, he was actually quite fantastic. So he's a medium 4, no question in my mind. He is offensively gifted more than anything else. So the fact that some of his shooting stats are down is a little questionable. But that's the thing, too, is that Rathbone was, like, really good for the couple games that he played for Vancouver. I think about a 78, maybe 79. Yeah, okay, let's leave him there. 79 overall. I think that's a little bit more accurate for Jack Rathbone. I think he could definitely be making the Canucks lineup this year if things go well for him. And I just don't know why he is so underrated on that stance. So, apart from that, not too much to change there. Thatcher Demko going to be the big goalie this year for the Canucks, or supposed to be. Oh, excuse me. I don't know if he will be, but we'll see what happens there. Okay, on to the last couple of teams here. We just got Vegas, Washington, and Winnipeg now. So for the Vegas Golden Knights, Lehner was, yeah, he was really good. 87's about right. Anybody over 90? I don't know if I agree with this one. I think Shea Theodore is about an 88 rated elite defenseman. I don't know why he gets so, again, just criminally underrated. He was a terrible player to release by the Anaheim Ducks. I don't know why they did that, but they did. And I think he's just a lot faster as well than people realize. He's got that crazy, crazy speed on the back end that makes a huge difference for controlling the game. And you have to be fast as a defenseman in today's NHL. There's no other way about it. Like, he's an 88 rated elite defenseman in my opinion, and yeah. Okay, looking through the rest of this team here, and Nolan Patrick at a 79 seems a little low, but he's also just been a bust overall so far. What? Why? Why is Peyton Krebs that low? Again, I think he's at about that 79 to 80 rated overall kind of level. I think Krebs is a great pick by Vegas, and I don't know why he's getting so lowballed on his rating. Like, he is just a better player than that. Why is he getting so underrated? I don't get it. Okay. I guess it could be injuries. Yeah, he could argue injuries are the reason he's not higher rated. But at the same time, like, Krebs is a two-way forward. Like, what do you mean, man? He's like 79 overall. He's pretty much ready to make that an NHL jump in the next year here. So I would definitely change that. I don't see why he's so low rated. And okay, that is the Vegas Golden Knights edits there for you guys. Okay, on to the Washington Capitals. Honestly, not a lot I would change. Again, one of those teams that's actually pretty accurately rated in my mind. How's the goaltending? Yeah, Samsonov and Vanacek, however you say his name. Two really good goalies taken within the span of a year in drafts. I think that's pretty accurate. I honestly don't think I'm going to touch the Capitals. They're looking like a pretty accurately rated team. Moving on to wow, Winnipeg actually looks quite accurately rated again too. Why? The fact that Andrew Kopp is a medium bottom 6 forward, it looks like someone forgot to edit his potential. But he's 84 overall. Yeah, so, makes no sense. I'd say he's a medium top 6 forward at this point, pretty much. He's really pushing that top 6 for Winnipeg, and they've got good forwards too. So, Andrew Kopp, medium 6, that's what I would give him. Pierre-Luc Dubois, not an elite player. Interesting, but I kind of agree with it. Apart from that, Sami Niku is also on Montreal now, so we'll have to move him over. Vesalainen gets bumped down to a low elite. Interesting. Brian Little retired. How are their goalies? Hellebuck, yep. And Comrie, not really. Okay. Those look good, actually. Okay. So we got at least a couple player movements to make. Let me see if I can actually remember them all, because there are a couple that I do want to adjust here. So the first one I'm thinking of that's stuck in my head right now still is without a doubt Sami Niku heading over to the Montreal Canadiens. That one's good. Okay, the next one that I'm thinking of is Vancouver, and they ended up trading. I don't even remember what the full trade was. Over to Florida in exchange for some really low-end guys, honestly, here. They got Lamico, yep, or Lamico, however you say his name, and I don't know if Julesen's even there yet. Okay, so let's finish that one. I wonder, is Julesen in free agents? I believe Julesen's in free agents, but I don't know why I'm not finding him. Okay. We got a couple other things we can do here with free agency. So for player movement, I'm not finding Julesen, so I apologize on behalf of the Canucks for that one. I feel like there was one more that I'm just forgetting right now, but we can make some other moves here. So we can send Brian Boyle goes to Pittsburgh. Alex Galchenyuk is currently on Arizona. That's Zdeno Chara. And I hit back. Cool. Okay. Let's see. Chara is currently on the Islanders. Chara goes there. I don't know where some of these guys have signed. Demers is also currently unrestricted. Wow, there's a lot of guys that are not playing. The only other guys I can think of are Galchenyuk is currently on the Coyotes. He got signed. Okay. Sevier is on the Oilers now, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if he's playing there full-time or not, but he's on the Oilers. Okay, I just need to go into my sports app and relook up NHL free agency. All right, so I don't know if there's too many other signings to really do here. Maybe Carl Soderberg. Nope, he's also not playing currently. So, yeah, there's a lot of guys in free agency that just never actually got signed. Bunch of guys got dropped and such, and I'm sure there's one other free agent trade or thing like that I'm forgetting. But that was the NHL. The only other thing I might go through and edit quickly is the AHL, but we're already at an hour here too. There's only a couple of players that I'm thinking about in the NHL where I look at it, or in the AHL, where I'm looking at it like, oh yeah, this guy's gotta be changed. Abbotsford Canucks, I feel like that's is this not like Seattle's AHL team? I think that's what this has to be at the moment. But the one that I just simply think needs to be changed is Evan Bouchard is an elite defenseman. A lot of people aren't going to believe me or like my opinion when I say that, but he's elite. And the fact that he's also only 79 rated, probably a little bit low. I think he's going to crack the Oilers lineup this year, to be completely honest with you. And I think he's got about 95 slap shot power as well. I think he's got the hardest shot on the Oilers without a doubt. And I think he also got his skating way up, which was also something that was really a struggle for him over the last little bit. I love how he's got 75 poise, yet he is like one of the most calm players I think I've ever watched as well. So, anyways, Bouchard, I'm giving him an 81. Don't know if you guys agree with that. And there's only a couple other guys that I'm really not high on, but like there's a couple other guys that I'm thinking of that are like, okay, this guy's gonna be good kind of thing. And they're not even in. The guy I'm thinking of is Moritz Seider, and he is in the SHL still for some reason. So let's go and find him. I don't actually know exactly which team he's on right now. I think he's playing for, is he on Djurgården? He is not. Okay. Eklund was 7th overall. Holtz was, yeah, okay. He's not on Frölunda. No. What team is he? Is he on? I want to say he's on Luella, but I might be wrong. Line is Olmark. I forgot this guy even existed, honestly. Wallsted's a low elite. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know if I agree with that one, but okay. Fabian Lysell could be another player who's better than people realize. There's Moritz Seider. Okay, 80 rated. Yeah, I think that's probably about accurate as well. I think he's absolutely going to be that good, and it kind of sucks that, you know, Detroit snagged him before Edmonton could get him, but anyways, that's, I think where I'm going to wrap it up for this roster editing. Obviously, I could go through to all the WHL, all the other leagues, but mainly just the NHL rosters that I hit today. There's a couple little tweaks I wanted to do here and there, but I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to go down below, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit the notification bell to never miss when these uploads come out. And of course, make sure to go check out my yard sale hockey apparel merch down in the description below and use code Etanyos for 50% off. But that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time.